New Jersey. So the Easterners have come west, and there they are, meeting here in our very first head-to-head match. En route, hopefully, for one of them, the $27,000 first prize. So with Jim Pencak's first shot, the 28-year-older from Ohio, the AC Delco Classic will be underway. Here's the shot. And the non-winner on the PBA Tour in 8 years of trying got a break, breaking up the split and leaving the 10-pin.
Once again, the championship pair of 13 and 14 here at Gable House. The left-hand lane hooks a little bit more than the right. You see Jim Pencak going slightly high, gets a real good break as the pin comes across the lane and leaves him a simple spare of the 10.
We're going to have Jim back. The last finals he happened to be in 1986, and prior to that in 85, he was second once to Bob Chamberlain, and he lost to Pete Weber in the Budweiser Open in 85. Here he is, 33 PBA titles. He's won nearly $1,300,000, the great Mark Roth. All right, that's one.
The profile we've seen so often of Mark Roth, the quick steps, the high backswing, the tremendous wrist snap right behind the ball. No side turn with Mark Roth. This all straight through lift, inside out swing, and a perfect result. Wiping the oil or conditioner off his bowling ball. That's the reason he picks up that towel and wipes the ball.
Meticulous preparation, but pulls the trigger in a hurry once he is set. Watch him. Strike up, second frame, left lane. Good action. Good action, Bo.
Chris, that's the action we're looking for. You see that ball just saw that 5 right over into the 7. Comes in the 1-3. The ball goes right through, drives the 5 over in the 7. See those pins bounce off that sideboard, slice out the 7 pin. That's what makes great scores. You don't leave a tap on the light hit, then the pros will really roll. Ross happy with that.
All right, now Jim Pencak of Ohio. He has a spare up. He's shooting in the second frame, right lane. Pocket hit, and it's his first strike. You just joined us. The winner of this game will go against dapper Joe Berardi, former U.S. Open champion, and then Pete Weber, and then Walter Ray Williams. $27,000 to today's winner, 14 for second, $8,500, $7,000. The loser of this first game will go on to Grand Prairie, Texas, scene of our next telecast a week from today, with $6,000. Leaving the 3-6-10 on the left.
Once again, the left lane, Jim Pencak goes a little bit high. And, Chris, people often ask, how do you pick the championship pair? And really, in a bowling center this big, with 40 lanes, we just pick one that's towards the center of the house where the people can all see, optimize the seating in the bowling center, and just happen that 13 and 14 is one of the highest scoring pairs simply because of the way the maple and the pine are laid together out there. Just kind of the luck of the draw. Now, here's Pencak across lane to convert the spare.
Disastrous Open, chopping the 3 off the 6-10, 46 through 3, whereas his opponent, Mark Roth, has a double up. He'll be shooting in the third as we replay that last shot.
And here's Pencak coming across lane. Likes to get the ball between the 3 and 6 pins. Doesn't do it. A little bit of hook at the end. He actually chops it. That's why they call it a chop. See that 6-pin wiggle? Opens the door for Roth. He leads by 24. Can make it to 34.
Mark Roth, what advice can he give the young bowlers who are trying to make the pro tour?
Well, I'll tell you what I did. When I was younger, I was fortunate enough to work in a bowling center, and I was able to practice for free. But nowadays, it's kind of tough to bowl for free. It's expensive. And what I would do is just try and seek out a local pro and work with him and get yourself on videotape. Right now, videotape is the biggest asset in the game of bowling.
Spoken from a bowling proprietor himself. Mark Roth has 3 in a row, can make it 4 in a 44-pin lead.
All but the 10-pin on the left lane is string stopping it. 3, but he has a 33-pin lead.
Here's what happens to this pin. This 6 pin does not quite get airborne enough to knock out the 10. All the other 9 pins disappear. Roth leaves the soft 10, ends this string at 3 in a row.
All right.
Quickly up on the approach, Roth doesn't change balls for spares. He just throws it nice and hard and straight. Cut that hook down, go hard and straight at spares.
Okay, the 4-time Bowler of the Year, Mark Roth. More of our first match following this. Our live coverage continues at the Gable House. Jim Pencak of Richmond Heights, Ohio, a suburb of Cleveland, after an open frame shooting in the 4th. Ring and 10.
Jim Pencak, who started bowling at the age of 9, told me his first league average in the junior league was 95. He's come a long way since then, as this week he averaged 222 and garnering the number 5 spot in our stepladder finals. He switches balls, goes to a harder ball, one that slides a little bit more down the lane to helpfully control the spare shot.
Cross lane. Oh, come up, and it did. That came extremely close to the channel on the right. Ooh.
Powerful man, Jim Pencak. 5-step delivery, good push away on the second step, high backswing, wrist cup. See that wrist underneath the ball? Then he drives down through with that pivot step, good knee bend, all that shoulder and arm strength, but really the wrist and the legs do the work. Leaves a solid 10 on that particular shot. He trails by 33, 5th frame.
In his very first television finals, his first game, he defeated Marshall Holman. Undoubtedly, with strikes like that coming in the 5th frame here, Mark Roth, of course, will be up next.
Here's a low camera angle of the strike of Pencak. Notice the ball hits just 4 pins. Watch it go through there. 1, 3, 5, and 9 pins. Pencak throwing the ball at 19 miles an hour. Roth at 16. We have the Jugs radar gun available today. So a little bit difference in ball speed.
Tremendous loft at the release out onto the lanes, Mark Roth. And, well, Bo, what are the odds on this one?
Well, here's an interesting shot, Chris, is that he can attack this 2 different ways. What he probably will do is get the ball over in this area, the 6-10 zone, try to slide these pins or bounce them over into the 4-7 zone. Let's see how he attacks it.
Oh. Perhaps too much speed. Didn't come up. So that gives Mark Roth, after opening with 3 and marking with a spare, he has 100 through 5 frames, and his lead has been cut to 14 pins, and that can be cut further. But Mark, of course, will be moving to the left lane.
The importance of controlling your ball speed. Roth had been 16 miles per hour in his first 4 frames. He dropped to 15 in the 5th frame, and then a cross lane for the spare, he went at 21. He was just a little out of sync on both speeds, but he still has a 14-pin lead.
I always like to remind people watching, Bo, that in bowling, you make an error you can never recover. Unlike in golf, you can. You can hit the next shot and get you out of the trouble you were in. Here, you have an open frame that's so long. So Mark did the next best thing and coming back with a strike.
Very true, Chris. And as we have the La Costa Country Club on tap right after the Pro Bowlers Tour this today, we get to see some of the pro golfers recover some of those shots. Now, here's Pencak to try to cut the lead to 4. Strike working.
Oh, a stubborn 4.
What pin action. I mean, he normally would carry the 4-pin on that shot, but he just overpowered the pins. And what simply happened is the head pin went to the sideboard right in here and went flying right by the 4-pin, the key pin. And normally a player will carry that shot not to be. See that head pin go sliding right by the 4? It actually was paralyzed by the 1 and 5 pins colliding.